What were some of the highlights of your career?
Well, the one that comes to my mind right from the top of my head is when I was asked to do a painting of P.T. Barnum and Jenny Lind after Barnum had found her over in Sweden. She was the Swedish Nightingale. He brought her over here to this country, and they wanted me to do a painting of when she arrived in New York City. I think it was Castle something where she arrived. And so I did a painting of her coming into the hotel, meeting him in the hotel, and they're kind of toasting each other. And I had to get research all what New York City looked like out the window, because I had a window in the painting, and I had to research what the inside of this hotel looked like. Then I had to get I had pictures of the two of their faces, but I needed them in the right position for my painting. And so my husband had to pose for P.T. Barnum, and my daughter had to pose as Jenny Lind, the Swedish Nightingale, as he's greeting her, and she's coming in on her first day here in New York City. And that painting won national recognition. The National League for American Pen Women recognized it as a historical painting, and they had me go to Washington, D.C., to the White House, where there were many other artists also from the pen women there, and the painting was recognized as at a reception in the White House. I met Rosalind Carter, shook her hand, and I can still remember walking in that lighthouse and hearing the Marine Band playing and walking into that dining room and the waiters with their tuxedos on and white napkins over their arms, and they're serving us all this wonderful food and luncheon. And as I remember, Jimmy Carter was out running around the White House at that time. He was jogging around the White House while we were inside. But that was just a highlight, and I left that White House, and as I walked out that door and across the street from the White House, I turned around. It was around 6 or 7 in the evening, and it was in April, and just as I turned around, that White House was there, and they were just turning the lights on outside. The house and the yard was starting to light up, and the cherry blossoms were all in front of me as I looked back at that White House, and that was one of the most, I could feel the tears coming to my eyes, saying, thank God I live in this beautiful country with all this right here. And that was one of the most memorable times of my life, being recognized for that painting and seeing that beautiful White House at the end of the evening.
That's lovely.